Every year I have customers that come in and they are struggling to get their carrots to germinate and to come up, and kind of walk them through the process on how to get your carrots to germinate. And what we found is if you follow this process, your carrots will come up in almost half the time that they normally would. So normally they take carrots for us 21 days to come up. I can get them to come up in about 12 this way, and it works great. So we just start with a rake, and I just like to rake the area where I'm going to plant my carrots. And I'll rake fairly lightly. I've just run the tiller through the garden just recently, and we'll just loosen that soil up so it's a good spot for the carrot seed to germinate and to get going. This is not the secret ingredient, but this is like an essential part of making it happen. So we'll try and loosen that soil up just a little bit, so as those carrots germinate, they have some nice loose, light, fluffy soil to germinate in and to get going. So one nice rake right there. Now, once I get that raked, I like to put a slow release fertilizer down. So our organic Happy Frog tomato and vegetable food, excellent for carrots. It's great for all your root crops. I like to use it with my onions, use it with tomatoes, peppers, squashes, melons, cucumbers. Really great all-purpose fertilizer. You can put it right in the row with the seeds when you're planting. So what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle it right down the row where the carrot seeds are going to go. And I'm not going to put carrots through this entire 16-inch wide area. We're just going to put them kind of right down the middle. But I still like to kind of sprinkle my carrots out so it's a wider row. My rows end up being about 8 inches wide on the carrots instead of just doing one little narrow row. I like to take advantage of the whole area. So I'm going to sprinkle this fertilizer on there. Then I'm going to quickly just rake it in really quick so it kind of works it down into the soil, so that when the carrots come up, that fertilizer is right there for the carrots to work into. So as the roots grow, they'll grow right down into this fertilizer. So we'll just rake it in really quick, and then we're going to put our seeds down. Now, one of my very favorite varieties of carrots is called Sweetness, and the Sweetness has been difficult to get, and so we brought in a substitution for the Sweetness because it's no longer available, and it's called Sweet Ingot. And so I'm going to plant Sweet Ingot. It's really great carrot. It's not too long. Ends up getting about 7, sometimes 8 inches long. So it's not really long, but it's a cylindrical carrot. So its walls are like cylindrical. So it's about evenly shaped all the way down to the tip, and it has kind of a blunt tip on it. So it's kind of a Nantes coreless variety. So carrot seeds, really small. So you can hopefully see right there, those carrot seeds, tiny. So we're going to be very careful as we're planting, and I'll just sprinkle those carrot seeds out. So we have approximately maybe 2 or 3 seeds every square inch as we're going. And I don't really work the carrots into the soil. I just sprinkle them right on the surface. So we're going to do just lightly sprinkled carrots all the way down through there. Of course, we're going to have to thin them out as we go. But the key really is to keeping those carrot seeds moist and warm through the germination process. Now, if you're planting in early or middle part of April, like when you should plant your carrots, of course you can plant carrots all through May and even into June. They're ready in about 75 to 85 days, depending on which variety you do. But if you're starting early, the soil's still kind of cool. It can be really wet. We can still get snow, but we want those seeds to just stay slightly damp. We want the sun, when it comes out, to really warm them up. And so the key to doing that is to cover them with the right mulch. And what I use is this coconut coir. So this is coconut coir. Comes in a compressed bale. And the coconut coir is the exterior of the coconut. And the exterior of the coconut is amazing at holding moisture, and it's kind of fibrous. And so it sticks around a lot longer than, say, like a peat moss or just even a potting mix, but it holds the moisture just perfect for the carrots. And so a block like this, I would put into my 6 cubic foot wheelbarrow. I'd add 10 gallons of water, and it would expand up, and it would fill about 2/3 of the wheelbarrow. It's about 4 cubic feet. So it'll expand out, one block that's not even a cubic foot will expand into about 4 cubic feet. And when you expand it, it looks just like this. So this is the expanded coconut coir. And it's just a perfect mulch to go right over the top of our carrots. So at this point, once we've got the carrots down, they're just sitting right there on the surface. We're going to take our coconut coir mulch and we're going to sprinkle it right over the top of our carrots. And I will do this for the entire row of carrots as we plant, and just kind of smooth that out so it's just right over the top of all those seeds that we just planted. Now what this coconut coir does is it holds moisture like crazy. We'll do that for right now. It holds moisture like crazy, but it acts like a filter, and as you water your seeds, it holds the moisture there so the seeds can germinate, but it also keeps them from washing away, because sometimes if you use the wrong kind of soil amendment, it's really light, and when you water it, it just washes away. The coconut coir will stay right there where you put it. It acts like a filter for the water, and it keeps your seeds in place. It holds moisture like crazy, so what it will do is during the day when it gets sunny and warm, it'll dry out just a little bit, but it just dries out on the surface, because then you can come and you can just kind of scratch the surface a little bit, and it's really wet underneath. And so the coconut coir just will hold that moisture perfectly for those carrots. And I like to just kind of pack it down just like that. All right, so once we get the carrots planted, we put our slow release fertilizer in there with the seed, coconut coir over the top. Then I like to water it, and I water it with a little bit of seed starter from Bicor. Now the seed starter is just a 1-1-1 fertilizer. It's just enough to get that seed to germinate and to come up. Helps it root like crazy. Put a little bit of kangaroo roots in there with it too, which is great for all your root crops, carrots, beets, potatoes, onions. Amazing for the root crops, because this just focuses on getting your root system as healthy and as big as possible. That's what we're trying to go for with the carrots. So I mix those two together, and once I get that coconut coir down, we just put a light application of our mixture of seed starter and kangaroo roots. And as you can see, the soil doesn't wash away. Like I said, it just acts like a filter. And as it waters down through that coconut coir, it will keep that carrot seed nice and moist, but it also warms it up, because the dark color of the coconut coir really generates some heat when the sun hits it. So as the moisture goes down through, saturates that seed, it'll get it to germinate. It's got that seed starter in there, but then during the day, that top layer is going to dry, and it's going to still be wet underneath. I won't have to water again for 3 or 4 days, even if it's warm and dry outside. And usually in about 12 days, I'll have little carrots popping right up. So when you're planting your carrots, slow release fertilizer, like the Happy Frog Tomato Vegetable Food, little seed starter, little kangaroo roots, some coconut coir to go over the top, and you've got a recipe for some amazing carrots for this growing season.